So, this was a pretty big couple of days in the world of Ashes of Creation. I got to level 24 through gathering, processing, and crafting alone. I did almost zero mob grinding for gear and levels. Although while I was waiting for somebody to get me some Edeldom, I did go with guildies to farm the Hawkbow for a little bit, and then I won it with a roll of 100 on the first time that it dropped in like a few minutes. I completely understand the outrage that poured out of the guildies I was with, but winners win, I guess. I managed to make the second best DPS mace that we have access to, and we got a PTR preview for the Summoner class, which, if I'm being honest, probably needs a few more months of work before it goes live. For me, the Summoner felt very much like the Mastermind class in City of Heroes. As a robot guy, you could choose between the kinds of summons you had, but you would tell them where to go, what to attack, and they had limited attacks and they kind of attacked on their own. I only did the Summoner thing at the beginner level. I didn't give myself a boost up to 25. I wanted to see what it was like as at the start, but maybe I'll test it longer later or at bigger levels, higher levels, whatever. Anyway, right now, in the alpha test, things are in a rough spot. Testers are fighting through the test, trying to maintain their positivity and faith that Intrepid can pull off this monumental task. But even in the face of the problems testers are presenting as feedback, Intrepid is moving forward with a marketing push that's intended to bring in more testers. I don't know about you, but I have no idea why this is a good idea. Vladis brought up several good points during his reaction stream, but this one was my favorite.
The video that caught me and the many eyes of MMORPG players, almost 3 million views. People know your game, Steven. In my opinion, every MMO player knows about Ashes of Creation. You would be very hard pressed to find someone in the MMORPG community that doesn't know Ashes of Creation.
There are 3 groups of people. Us, who know of and are actively testing Ashes of Creation. People who know about Ashes and are playing other games while they wait for Ashes to be released. And those who have no idea that Ashes even exists. Intrepid is aiming to draw in testers from the group that doesn't know about Ashes, but how many people from that group will actually chip in to test the alpha? No matter what marketing Intrepid puts out, the alpha reviews that some content creators have put out will already highlight the game's current problems. At that point, it's up to the new tester to decide whether the company marketing is accurate or if content creator impressions should be believed instead. As a current tester in Ashes of Creation, what do you think most testers will do if they buy into the alpha test after November? My guess is they'll take Steven up on that money back guarantee and go back to whatever they were doing before they tried testing Ashes. And many will never come back. The only thing this marketing push will accomplish is souring the first impression of Ashes of Creation for a multitude of people who might not have fully understood that this was an alpha test and not a fully functioning game. No matter how many times Steven tells us to embrace the suck or that this is an alpha and that things are going to change, there are way too many people who will completely disregard those warnings and expect a nearly fully functioning game, especially at such a high price tag. Even now, in the alpha test, there are stupid people that think that this should be a full game. Vladis had an amazing point here. The people who would be fully invested in Ashes of Creation have already seen the Lazy Peon video that indoctrinated all of us into the world of Vera, and all of us signed up in one way or another. Out of the millions of views that his video gained, what person who's even slightly interested in MMOs would have missed it, and would instead be brought in by a marketing push by Intrepid? On top of his original video, he's followed up with several videos talking about the current state of Ashes and how it's good or bad. Or not bad, but needs more work. We are all rabid animals clawing through the drought of MMOs in our lives, waiting for the one game we can spend the next couple of years playing. Many of us are hoping that MMO is Ashes of Creation, but many, many more people don't care. Maybe they're waiting for Light No Fire, Ion 2, Chrono Odyssey, or who knows what other games will come out by the time Ashes finishes development. My point is that this marketing push might be completely pointless if Intrepid can't hone the systems that are being tested right now. New testers will come in, see the mess, and bail until something more polished comes along, whether that's Ashes or something else, and that will hurt Ashes more in the long run. In the short term, I have no idea why they're doing this. Do they need more testers? Are they running out of money? I don't know, but there are a lot of decisions Intrepid makes that don't really make sense to those of us outside the inner circle of decision makers. But I want to pivot and point something else out to you. Take a look at the current state of the settlement system. As players do things in an area, a settlement gains experience and levels up to unlock new options for the players. If you look at the map, there are a lot of broken settlements, and there are a lot of problems with the settlement system. Now, let me ask you this. How well did this system work in Alpha 1? How about Alpha 2, when all of the NPCs were floating and the devs had to manually level the nodes to continue the test? Now, think about the fact that the Harbinger's update is supposed to bring a similar system to the game, one where player actions dictate the outcome of this corruption event. While it's fine as a tester, we know there are going to be bugs and we know there are going to be issues they'll have to iron out. New testers aren't going to understand that and are going to be very disappointed with the reality of the Alpha 3 test once they've been brought in by whatever marketing strategies Intrepid has planned. It's questionable at the least, so we really should be asking these questions. If I'm being honest with you, it doesn't really matter. If Intrepid is trying to push a beta release for Ashes of Creation, it will fail if it's not ready. It's very simple. If they're trying to rush their launch to get some semblance of a finished product ready, if it's good, it will succeed. We really don't need to stress over what needs to be fixed or not. If the game fails, it will be because Intrepid missed the mark. And yes, losing Ashes of Creation would be a tremendous loss because at its core, the game is a fantastic idea. But it's not the only game on the horizon. And for many of us, it's only a matter of time until we run into a game that scratches that MMO itch we've had for years. Whether more players abandon the game to play something else, or new testers are brought in and stay until years after launch, is completely up to the decisions Intrepid makes. We're only along for the ride, giving our feedback to help the game be as good as it can be. And right now, for me, I don't think Ashes of Creation is ready for a marketing push or a new game system in November. But I guess we'll see what happens over the holidays. In the meantime, I have a level and an energy focus to make. If you want, I'll share my build with you in a different video. It's pretty fun, so let me know. That's all for today. You're welcome.